What's up, man? Welcome to the C4 Gaming Forum. I'm your host as always, C4 Platinum. Wanted to talk to you about the PlayStation meeting that took place last night, February 20th, around about 6 o'clock. Actually couldn't stay home to watch it, had to go to work. Kind of glad I did just go ahead and go to work. I actually started to take off so I could watch these, but I decided not. And I'm quite glad because all in all, it's about 4 hours. You had about an hour of Jeff Keighley and random people sitting there hating on the Wii U, which is already out, you know what I'm saying, and this net console, which this is not even what this conference is about. It's about the PlayStation 4. Why are you talking about Wii U? First thing, you already starting off wrong. Then you hating for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So, after about an hour of that, and then a bunch of other stupid guests coming in with their rumors, which clearly make no sense, they finally have this PlayStation meeting. Now, I'm all for these PlayStation meetings and stuff like that, even though you kind of stole the idea from Nintendo Directs. That's a totally different story too. We'll get on that on another video. But, you get there, this guy's sitting up there and he's talking for about, 15, 20 minutes before they finally show anything of relevance. This is a 2-hour press conference or press meeting, however you want to call it, and probably half of that was just people running their mouth instead of just showing games. Show me the console. Show me the controller. They finally showed the controller. I'm not sure how I feel about the controller. I don't hate it, but it dang sure don't look better than the DualShock 3. I mean, there's no denying that. It looks kind of funky. It looks like they took 2 PlayStation moves, cut them off at the top, and put them on the PS3 controller build. Like they added on to it. It's a little bulked up and everything. And for some people, that's probably a good thing because, you know, sometimes people think those controllers are a little too small. So that might be a good thing in the long run. Might be more comfortable, but it just aesthetically, it's not too pleasing, at least to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not my cup of tea right now. If I could use a PS3 controller, I probably would. That'd probably be my choice. And it also has like a little touchpad, kind of like a laptop mouse pad, kind of like that, sitting in the middle of it. But it's kind of rigid, kind of, I don't know what to even compare it to. You have to see. It's some pictures. It's some pictures of it. It's easy to Google up. You can see it on game trailers and other websites. But the controller itself kind of looks funky to me. And it has one of those built-in like move balls. They had it cut off and it kind of just over the top of the controller. And it doesn't look hideous. It looks kind of funky. It puts you in the mind of the Move controller, which is not, like I say, aesthetically pleasing. And they said they improved the rumble in it, which is always good. Because I mean, when the rumble works good with a game, it's awesome. When you get that one-to-one feeling with the rumble, when you're shooting somebody or taking damage, that's real good. Rumble is very important to a controller. So they got that out of the way. Then, you know, it's time to turn to the games/tech demos. So for a tech demo, what they showed was the Unreal Engine 4 running on it, which we've already seen the Unreal Engine 4 demo, saw it last year, and they just added on to it. They added on a little extra stuff to it with a new Elemental guy, so they call it the Elemental Plus demo. So nothing really new. They just added on a couple of extra scenes for it, which to me is kind of lazy. Like I said, use the same demo that we've already seen, which means, hey, we already knew it was supposed to do that. It's already supposed to be confirmed to have Unreal Engine 4. You know what I'm saying? Like the other console. Because you know Microsoft is going to match whatever Sony's doing, if not try to top it. But they show that. I'm not too impressed with Unreal Engine 4. I don't know what it is, but to me that engine does not look more powerful than CryEngine 3. And if CryEngine 3 is supposed to be the next gen as far as like video games, graphics stuff goes, even for the PC, then I'm not too impressed with that. You didn't show me anything. You're doing particle effects and tessellation. Okay, they was doing that in Crysis 2. You claimed you could do that with Unreal Engine 3. Samaritan demo shows out tessellation and stuff like that. So I'm not too impressed with Unreal Engine 4. I don't see the need to have to go and beef up these consoles, charge people another $500 to $600 for a console to play video games, and most of the video games are not even going to take advantage of that. To even use Unreal Engine 4, you had to pay for the license, which means somebody's going to have to pay for that money. That's coming out of somebody's pocket, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the consumer. Me and you. So, I'm not really too impressed with that. Like I try to tell guys, things about graphics that impress me is stuff like the jump from Super Mario Bros. To Super Mario 3 on the NES. Those things like that impress me. Taking what you got and improving on it that much to where the games look dang near night and day from improvements. Stuff like that impresses me. You know what I mean? That's what I enjoy seeing graphics like that. Like, I mean, Xbox 360 launch titles to what they look like now. That stuff impresses me because you're using the same hardware that you had 6 years ago, but you done pushed it that far to where it looks almost up to another gen. You know what I mean? That's stuff that impresses me. When studios learn how to use the hardware that they have and make the most of it, that impresses me. Not you telling me, hey, I made a new graphics engine, and then tell me, hey, it doesn't run on your current console or your current PC card. You need to soup this up a little bit. That doesn't impress me at all, man. But on to the games. They showed Killzone Shadowfall. Game looks good. I played a little bit of Killzone 2. I think I actually flipped Killzone 2 and I didn't finish Killzone 3. It just didn't, I don't know, it just wasn't my cup of tea too much. And I'm not real big on first person shooters, but if you get the story right and stuff for me, I'll play it and finish it. I ain't gonna get online, and you know, I'm not real big with the multiplayer because I'm not that good with analogs. Now, you put a Wiimote in my hand, but actually, fellas on this Wii U, you put a Wiimote in my hand and I can aim at you, totally different story. I can use analog stuff, but I'm nowhere near as good as I am with a freaking Wiimote in my hand pointing at a screen and using my aim to kill something. That's totally different. Killzone demos was pretty cool. It kind of put me in the mind of the PlayStation 3 demo of Killzone they showed, which got everybody in uproar because the game didn't end up looking like that because it was kind of CG'd up. But they made it kind of clear to show that they were using, you know, they were actually playing the game. It wasn't just running on CG. They made it look like the game was being played by someone. So it looks pretty good. If that's the case, then the game does look pretty good. The world looks pretty good. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to, you know, do a whole lot. I mean, it's one thing to show an open world when you're flying around on an airplane or something like that, but you're not at ground level. You're not really doing too much, not interacting with everything. But visually, it looks good. I'm going to say this much, though. The HD visuals in the PlayStation 4 right now, and I even think for the 720 and the Wii U, they're going to look, the games are going to look crisper, prettier than I think current gen consoles. I really think that's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be nothing that you couldn't live without. But I do think the game's going to look better because that Killzone game looked kind of bright and lively. That was kind of, it was interesting to me, you know what I'm saying, because I'm so used to these dark colors and stuff, especially on my PlayStation 3 games. So seeing a game like that actually with some freaking vibrant color in it for a change, putting some life into the game, that was actually pretty cool. I mean, you really can't say too much about that. Then they showed Infamous, what was it, Second Son? I guess they didn't want to call it Infamous 3, or maybe it's not Cole anymore. Look like his brother, or I don't know, some kind of relative or something like that. Maybe it ain't even got nothing to do with him, just somebody else was experimenting on, who knows. But that game, it looks okay. I mean, I wasn't really too interested in Infamous when it first came out, and I played a little bit of it, and I actually got that for free, you know, for being a PlayStation Plus member, but I never finished it. It never held my attention long enough. So those two games, what I perceive to be the big ones, as far as like PlayStation exclusives go anyway, that was on the real big deal for them. They also had Bungie up on stage. Now this annoyed me a little bit because Bungie was up on stage basically like trying to take a shot at Microsoft, acting like, okay, we're free now, we're independent, and we're glad about that, but you teamed up with Activision, which means at the end of the day, you still working for somebody else. I mean, you just, maybe Activision's a little bit better to deal with than Microsoft, but you still got to take orders. You know what I'm saying? They say put this game somewhere, then that's what you're going to do. So, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but what kind of ticked me off is that this is like I said, this is a PlayStation event. You already mentioned the Wii U in your little precursor. which was stupid. Then you got Bungie sitting up there talking about, and what did we do after Halo? Halo shouldn't even be brought up in a PlayStation meeting. You shouldn't even be mentioning no Halo. You shouldn't be showing montages of you in the studio with 6-7 foot Master Chief statues. That's stupid. Somebody at Sony should have lost their job over that stupidity. I'm not gonna sit there. That's just like you go into freaking a Sony press conference and you look in their office and they got a bunch of freaking Marios running around there. No, you don't do that type of stuff. At least not from a PR perspective. I wouldn't think so. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't do that. So they end up showing Destiny, which is supposed to be a game that's developed by Bungie and getting, I guess, backed or published by Ubisoft. And it's supposed to be for the PS3, supposed to be for the 360. I imagine it's going to come to the Wii U. They said it's coming to the PS4, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the 720 also. But it's supposed to be a 10-year game, which is kind of funny to me because like the PlayStation brand as a whole has pretty much been on these 10-year life cycles as of late. Which means that I think the PS3 is about 7 years old, heading toward 8, which means you got about 2 more years out of that console. So if you get a game that's promising you a 10-year, venture on that platform, what are you gonna do when they pull the plug on the PS3? You know what I'm saying? Because you only got about 2 more years left on that thing. So that's kind of worrying me. And then my issues with this whole press conference was that a lot of my questions weren't answered. I wanted to know what the price was going to be, or at least some kind of ballpark range, but apparently they're going to say that for E3 or something like that, so we don't know, because the rumors have been going around anywhere from $429 to $529, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. It just depends on what else they show. And what else did I like? Okay. Oh, I didn't like the fact that it's pretty much been confirmed what I was thinking, that the PS4 is not going to be backwards compatible with the PS3 games. I pretty much figured that because they switched the architecture around, because PS3 uses the Cell, and the Cell is supposed to be a totally different beast than what they got going on right now. And they also had the video graphics card in the PS3, so I knew there was going to be some issues with that. So now what they're trying to do is through their purchase of Gaikai, apparently they're going to try to stream all your games from those other consoles, which theoretically could be a good idea if it works right. But I am so skeptical about streaming games. There's a big difference between streaming movies and stuff. I'm not really interacting with no movie on Netflix or nothing like that. But you're talking about a game where I have to have precision inputs and stuff like that, and be able to, do a lot at a moment's notice, and I'm getting that stream from some cloud. I'm not 100% sure on that. So we'll see how that works out. But they claim they're going to be building the world's fastest gaming network. So if they do that, then who knows? That might be the bread and butter. That might be something that actually slap Microsoft and Nintendo in the face. But we have to see. And I'm not sure if they're going to charge for PlayStation Plus or nothing like that. But they are going to have something called PlayStation World. And what else did they show? They actually had Blizzard come out on stage and announced that they were going to be putting Diablo 3 on the PS3 and the PS4. Once again, kind of negating the fact that you're pushing your PS4 if you keep talking about these games that are coming out for this platform are still going to be over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes it look like, what is the point of me getting this PlayStation 4 if I'm still going to get this game on PS3? And eventually, they're going to just cut you slap off, but as for right now, those games are still going to be coming out. Why? Because just like the Wii U, the install base is going to be kind of puny. You're going to get that initial jump from those guys that actually have that kind of money to go get these consoles, and then they're going to die off for a minute, until the games start picking up and folks get their freaking funds together. So, all in all, I would say it was a decent press conference. It wasn't a whole lot there for me that I want, because I mean, I'm not real big on Killzone like that. I'm not real big on Infamous, and the I don't know what you call it, Move / Ultra Connect games they showed with the puppets sitting there dancing and playing the guitar. That did not interest me at all. And if anybody that wants to be a Sony fanboy or something like that comes at me talking about me being a Nintendo fan is stupid because they make kiddie games, and you don't think that crap was stupid and kiddie, no sir, don't even try it, because that was some grade A garbage. Sculpting tools. You want me to go buy a probably $500 console, turn around and get PlayStation Move, and hopefully the camera comes with the thing, because you know that's going to be probably anywhere from $50 to $100, just so I can sit there and wave it around and it do what the freak you want to do. No, Sony baby, no, that's not going to happen. And as far as the racing game they showed, Drive Club, it's a cool concept to, you know, get a bunch of cars with your friends and drive around different areas and take care of these challenges. That's a good idea, you know what I'm saying, to get with your friends and play racing games, because I mean, a lot of people don't do that no more. They don't play racing games with nobody, especially not friends. You're always playing against somebody all the time. You don't never play with somebody to do, you know, to reach a goal together as friends. So that's a good idea, I think. So like graphics as far as cars and stuff, I haven't really cared too much about the graphics for these cars since like the 360 and the PS3 came out, because these cars start to look plastic after a while because they keep trying to make them so photorealistic to where I just don't even care no more. You know, I hope it's fun. That's all I can say about that. I just hope it's a fun game, because that doesn't appeal to me. And all these games using these Unreal Engine 4s and these next engines and stuff with all these particle effects. Particle effects in everything. Some PlayStation 4 game called Knack. Itty bitty monster can get big as he wants to, break off into 1,000,000 pieces. Okay, I know Unreal Engine 4 can do particles. We've seen the demo time and time again, but not everything warrants something busting up into 1,000,000 pieces. The dude in Infamous, hand glowing fire. That's not enough? No, you need 50 million particles floating around every time you move his hand. Come on, dog. Just don't overuse it already. The system ain't even out yet. Use it for what it's for, to add to the game. You know what I'm saying? Not just use it as, hey, this is what we doing and you can't do this somewhere else. No. And then another feature that they actually announced was the fact that when you're playing games now online with your friends or whatever, and you can stream your gameplay by just pressing the share button on your controller. It's a pretty neat thing for people that want to upload their gameplay and stuff a lot. I'm not sure how big the files can actually be, because everything they show was pretty much like the last 60 seconds or a couple minutes or something like that. So I'm not sure what the actual limit file size is for that. But I guess spec wise the freaking console is a beast, but I'm kind of getting the feeling that if you got 8 gigs of RAM in this thing and you got a apparently enhanced PC architecture with you know, your 8-core processor and a enhanced GPU, I imagine. It kind of negates it once you start to throw in all these extra features that you can have going on, like being able to compress and decompress video while playing the game at the same time in the background, and being able to download stuff while still playing the game. And you know what I'm saying? At some point, I guess you're going to start to eat up some of that extra RAM that you put in there in the first place. So I'm guessing that was the whole point. So I'm really kind of wondering just how powerful the games and stuff are really going to be, and how good stuff is going to look, because if you can't utilize that full 8 gigs and stuff and the full potential of it, then I'm not really sure if that's going to be warranted enough if everybody doesn't really use those features. And then they also had something where that, let's say I'm playing the game. I'm playing Uncharted 4 whenever it comes out. Well, you know, I'm thinking it's going to come out. I'm playing Uncharted 4 and I get stuck somewhere and I can't find my way out. I can be like, hey, yo, Drunk Monkey, or hey, Joe Dollar Sign, man, I know you got this game. I cannot beat it, dude. Can you help me out with this? I'm sitting there in my house. He can be at his house playing the game, and he can take over my game. Basically, take over my controller from wherever he is and play the game for me. Now, that in itself is an actual pretty cool feature, but at the same time, it's kind of stupid to me, because now it's like, okay, you don't have to do anything anymore. As long as you got somebody that can take care of the hard stuff for you in this game, you good. So we have to see how that works. But a lot of things, it's got a lot of potential. I mean, all I can see right now is that you just need some games that you want to get. And the question I have right now for everybody is that, is it time to trade in your PlayStation 3 toward the PS4? Because I'm seriously considering it right now, because I know come E3, PlayStation 3 is probably going to get another price drop, and then the trade-in value and all that stuff is probably going to be horrendous. And I know that these consoles, when they both come out, are going to be expensive. So, is it time to start trading in that PS3 library and stuff like that now, and go ahead and jump on the PS4 train now? Or are you just going to stick with, are you going to wait to see what Microsoft has come? Or do you already have it currently owning the Wii U, and are you enjoying that? Are you going to stick with that? Are you going to be a single platform holder this gen? Or are you going to have two, all of them? Or are you going to just stick to PC? Let me know in the comments below what you think. And check out the PS4 meeting. I would suggest that you kind of go to YouTube or anywhere else where you can just see trailers of the individual things that I mentioned, because you do not want to sit through that full 2-hour video. Peace.